Hey, sugar. I feel like there are so many different things that I need to learn as an adult. I'm this nasty on a regular day, like on a Tuesday. I am your host, Samia Burton, and don't worry, it's not just another sex podcast. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Not Just Another Sex Podcast. I am your host, Samia Burton, and I'm super excited because I got the bad bitch. The baddest motherfucking of bitches.
Stop it. First off, actually, and I do have a sex podcast.
She do, but this not
That's
just
like a
another
sex
one.
podcast.
Look here, I'm super excited because it's been a long time fucking coming.
It
I have a
has.
guest.
It
And
has.
hold on, y'all don't let her confuse y'all. This is my motherfucking show today, okay? So if y'all hear me get real silent, because I be like, hey, bitch, that's just going to be us reeling it in. I apologize that y'all going to have to listen to such greatness all on one podcast today, but it's a great day.
It is a great
Hi,
day.
Mandii.
Hello, love.
This is so full circle. You know how when you
It
like
is.
masturbating and you like, you trying to like think
Wait,
of
you
things
just took
that
me
you
somewhere.
want,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you like, oh, this what I want, and you masturbate to it.
So I don't manifest masturbate. That's not something that I do. I masturbate to go to sleep. So I don't know this crystal. Real quick, we not gonna stars and moons this with me.
It's all right. I picked great things for you.
Okay.
So you just sit back. Let me drive the boat.
Okay,
You
go
got-
ahead
you
and
off
drive the
today.
boat. Go
You
ahead and
off
drive
today.
the boat. Look at me trying to see like I have an outline. I have no
You
outline.
don't. You can't. Can't nobody even help you today. Yeah, I'm super excited. Yay for me because a bitch been in the business for 5 years, and Mandii from, if you don't know, or if you're living under a rock, which is okay, one of two from
Yes.
Whoreible Decisions podcast.
Yes.
And most recently, an additional podcast.
Yes. See, the thing is, but also I got to have a conversation with you on my third podcast, which was
Yes.
Period Sis.
Period
That
sis.
was a pandemic baby.
Yeah.
That stemmed from me having a subscription box, but a lot of the products that you have as well,
Yeah.
it definitely crossed the line. So you were always someone, and honestly, from 5 years ago, like she was like, "I'll fly up, girl. Let me come up." So as soon as I got to a virtual space, I was glad to have you, and now I'm just super glad that if you haven't yet, check out Samaya's episode on Whoreible Decisions out now.
Yes, amazing. So, all within time, and so I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. So we're gonna run it up today.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're starting off with the adult tip of the day. So the adult tip of the day is just something that we add, whether it's like a therapy thing or it's like just, hey, this is a little life hack that you need to know. We throwing it right here so that way you can learn about different stuff, different people from different places. Today's adult tip of the day
Okay.
is, bitch, get a cleaning lady. That is the adult tip of the day.
I love that.
That is the adult tip of the day today. The first time I got a cleaning lady, I walked in my house and I'm telling you, I masturbated for like 3 hours after that. The house was
Wow.
so clean. It was so, and you know, as black folks, we like, I don't want nobody else touching my shit. She don't know where everything goes. She was putting shit in better places than I had.
Wait a second. So I actually have something. So I have a cleaning lady now, and this is on some rich adult tip of the day shit. Because having a cleaning lady is a luxury. I'll be honest with you. It's something that I just added, but I got my cleaning lady from one of my hoes, and I was like, it's the best thing that came
It's a
from
gift?
him. Well, no, he just put me on his cleaning lady. That is now my cleaning
That's
lady.
still a gift.
So I hope that we never end on bad terms, because she gonna hear me talking about this nigga if we do. But I'll never forget the first. So I now went from bi-weekly to weekly, but I didn't know how to ask her, baby. She misplaced or just placed somewhere my fucking vibrator, my suction cup,
like an episode of
well,
Sex and
because
the City.
it's on my bed all the time. So she came in, my bed was made, it was great. And I didn't know how to ask my cleaning lady,
Where
was that little green that little green thing that was on the bed? Because I haven't been able to find it.
My lady part
A month and a half later, so there was a toy that went missing when you came here. I also make sure to kind of get the toys out of sight for her, but
You do your best.
I do my best. I ain't
My
gonna hold
cleaning
you.
lady has to work around an entire room because my office is in my house. So at this point, I think all she do in there is dust, which I ain't mad at her. I'm not mad.
I get the dusting. I also have a cat, so I need
Gotcha.
everything vacuumed. And now that she's weekly, she changes my sheets weekly. But there'll be times where where my man and me are there before she comes, and I'm like, babe, get up. I don't want her to see these sheets. This is nasty. So I'll be like, babe, get up. I'm not going to do this to her. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off and put it in the washer before she gets here. But I will say that
it's a luxury, but I don't think so.
It's 100% a luxury.
I think that
I don't know what you pay.
No. Like, I think that it is a luxury as far as like, you know, price and extra. But I think it's also one of those things, just like a doula, when it comes to like women having babies. It's a new thing that we didn't really understand that can really be beneficial. So if you have children, especially, I only have one kid, so I couldn't imagine having two.
I live by myself, and I still have a goddamn.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's a level of self-care, because I think all of us find ourselves cleaning up our house, doing something every single day, and so you never get a rest. And so what I'm saying is like, just like people get their groceries delivered, things like that. Yes, it is a luxury, but I think it should be one of those things that you don't have to wait until you get your big fancy house to bring in your cleaning lady. I think that you can start trying to implement that now. Like, okay, maybe you don't eat out 2 days a week or whatever, but I think that I wish I had brought in a cleaning lady earlier, because I realized how much of it wasn't just, yes, it is a luxury thing. I'm fortunate to have one. But what it does for me was way more than luxury.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? That's the part that I wanted people to understand.
When I worked corporate, grocery shopping, cleaning my house, those were things that I had to do every weekend almost. Like, I had to get all of my errands out the way. And so you're 100% right. Like, where people may spend money on outings and different types of entertainment, if they move those funds to, say, a cleaner to help keep their house clean.
Even once a month.
I mean, me and my friend were even talking about bringing in a chef to meal prep certain things. There's things that
I'm always
in our
with
free time, we're doing things that we as adults do consider to be chores.
Yeah.
And so when we can relieve ourselves of those duties,
we're
able to just have a little bit more fun.
Look here, buying your time back, I think, is also super important. And we're going to wrap this up, but super important just even as an entrepreneur, period, because if you're not having, like, you only get so much time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So buy back your time. That is my adult tip of the day. I know it sounds like some bougie shit, and that is okay, friend. So the next segment of the show is going to be Twitter Talk. As I explained to you guys before, I know that Twitter has went through such a change, and that's okay. But Twitter was a hell of a milestone. And even if you saw it on TikTok or you saw it on Instagram or whatever, it was still a Twitter conversation.
Yep.
And so this is just to highlight, a lot of Black Twitter moments and just any crazy controversial topic that y'all want to talk about. This is where we are putting it, and we're just calling it Twitter Talk.
I love that.
Today's Twitter Talk is about being sensitive around who you follow and how you pick and decide who you follow and unfollow. So there was this, there was a lady who was just saying it's so crazy that all these crazy people that you'd have met drunk in the bathroom, you still follow, from your vacation from 4 years ago, person that you'd have met at your very first job, you still follow.
Yeah.
And how, like, you should not be offended when people unfollow. And I'm a huge person for this. Please don't be offended, like, if I follow or don't follow you, because you don't know how people use their social media.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I use mine as a vision board. So, like, I have like 3 pages. Each page has something different. I got a van. I got one of them like converted van, living vans. I only follow camping people on there, or people that's like outside, because that's what that has to do with. My personal page is some of people I know, and then people that I want to work with.
First off, not everybody has 3 goddamn pages.
This is true.
Nobody just categorizes their life into 3 different.
We be having hella organized fun over here. I'm hella fun.
It's giving
in
type
an organized way, okay? And we plan out all our activities over here.
Yes, okay.
So my personal page got my personal organized activities, but my business page specifically is only the people that I'm either trying to work with, and I see a window here, like, like, even, for example, like, you're here now, but I've known who you are for 5 years. You've known who I am.
Easily.
But there were windows where I'm like, no, I can't see me being on here right now. That may not be a person. And I didn't follow for a while.
Right.
Because then you obsess over things that's like, hey, there are other opportunities that I can be looking at. So I always use my business page personally as a vision board of either who I'm trying to get some research on, or I want to do something with them. And then even sometimes after we work with people, if we're good, like you're on my phone, I might unfollow you because I don't need to see this. Or if
I used to do that. So, and this is gonna sound awful. Let me wrap it up. So I used to not want to follow over 1,000 people. So when I got over 1,000, I didn't give a fuck who you was. I gotta unfollow. If I went over 1,000, I gotta unfollow everybody to get under 1,000.
But it still wasn't personal.
It wasn't personal, but as now I find myself being out, especially after the pandemic, I think that was such a immature mindset because also there's been people that came around that ended up being really great people that I'm like, damn, I followed you and I feel bad because I'm like, there's been some sort of full circle moment, right? Yeah. I also feel like that put too much stake into me caring about people thinking if I follow over 1,000 people. Yes, I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm outside. I meet a lot of people.
Especially these days, like you're in multiple avenues. It was already big before.
I don't follow different people from different pages. I just follow if I have a rapport. If I said hi, if we got drunk one time, I'm gonna follow you. I might not remember you, but I'm gonna follow you. Yeah. Your face is gonna be familiar. It's weird because I want to bring up following only because you brought it up, where I'm a little upset because I don't feel like I can control Twitter. Where I now watch porn on Twitter. And so it's
Twitter porn has been the best.
It's been the best thing ever. Oh, all the OnlyFans people, thank you for your free content. I appreciate you. 2 minutes is all I need to run one out, baby. But Twitter has been a place where it has done one of two things. A, opening up. They have an algorithm. The OnlyFans people like to post it at like 11 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Yeah, when I'm out in the bout, I'm on the plane and I'm like, ooh, somebody just saw a booty hole. Let me scroll. But I realized how desensitized it has made me to
certain things.
Just sex in general.
Really?
Like I was just talking about this on a Patreon episode on my podcast. Like the person I've been with for the last 2.5 years. The idea of them sending me a dick pic or any sexually graphic pic, nigga, come over or see you tomorrow. Like, I don't want pictures.
You don't
like
want that.
I also, and I'm not old. I am grateful that I don't
what most old people say before they tell you that.
What?
That they ain't old.
I ain't old. I ain't old, but I'm in a place that even as a woman, there's nothing that entices me to go and take pictures of my tits, or especially because when you send a nude to a man, first off, it's never enough. You send them tits, they be like, let me see that pussy. You send them the pussy, they be like, let me see that ass. You send them the ass, they be like, jiggle it for me one time. They just want to direct a whole porn, and it's like they're never satisfied with even what you send them because they always want to see more. Or if you send pictures and they want videos. And I've enjoyed having a relationship where we enjoy our time together and we get real kiki, filthy, nasty. But the idea of sending each other pictures isn't a part of our foreplay, so to say.
All right, because we're going to talk about that here in a second because I'm going to need all that mouth to still be
oh, girl,
talking
it's
about
always
it right
gonna
now.
go. It's always going to
go. I feel like especially, I get what you're saying on the number of people, for sure. For me, I think that as a person who's getting better with boundaries and also cutting out some of the white noise, I feel like you've been in the business for years. So you understand who you need to be connecting with and who not. And I feel like sometimes I do worried about hurting people's feelings when it's like, I know you in real life, but you do not post. Or you go to an event and you post 10 pictures separately versus all together. Like, now, if I'm annoyed when I see your post, I'm going to unfollow. Now, because I can really like you in person, but I just don't. Everybody not a social media person.
Those are people that may not post a lot, but how inclined are you? Sorry, this isn't my pod. But how inclined are you to continue following people that you know you have potential to run into that are in your space? Like in terms of being an influencer or in this sex space, how inclined do you feel to follow the people that you know are in that circle?
Right.
Because that's been an issue with
it's really hard, which is why
because they're not great people.
And see, they're not that cool. And see, mine are that it's not even that they're great people, but the truth is that, you know, I used to do a lot of hands-on classes traveling, right? Yes. That was where I got my name from. But there are so many people out there doing it now, and that's not really my main focus anymore. Now I'm writing a book. Now I have a podcast out. So my interest in talk about, okay, BB. Y'all heard the queen call it. Shit. But, you know, I don't have an interest to also see people doing the exact same thing that I'm doing while I'm still creating my own ideas. So sometimes especially when I'm writing, I almost don't follow anybody because I don't want any idea. I want to know that I have my stuff out on paper before I'm influenced by what I'm seeing. And
so let me ask you that. That's been a thing with not only my live shows, but our content here. I listen to other podcasts because a lot of the time I don't want to feel like I'm regurgitating the same information. Do you not find it almost something that you should do in terms of seeing what the quote unquote competition is doing so that you're not giving people the same project, like the same product?
Absolutely. It's a balance. And that's why I say I always just, and that is why I like the different pages. Like even the Sexual Essential pages follows one set of things. First of all, I lost my page, y'all, but please make sure y'all follow the new one, sexual.essentials.
Ooh.
They was wrong for that. But who I follow on that page versus the podcast page are different sets of people, different types of work.
Gotcha.
And also, when you meet me in real life, I don't have no beef. I'm going to tell you, oh, no, this is what I was working on. This is this. If you have a problem with that or you're taking that personal, it sounds like a personal problem. And I totally, like, if you want to be like, oh, it hurt my feelings, you ain't unfollowed me, I can probably tell you a reason why. Or I followed you from my personal page because now our relationship is a real relationship, no longer business.
Right.
We've already worked together. I just followed you from one of those pages. It might have been the podcast one, but after we work together and we're not doing this anymore, you go into real life bubble.
Right.
So it's like whatever I need to organize my fun ass organized thoughts over here, then that's what I'm gonna do. You know, and I started realizing like if it was gonna give me peace, it really didn't fucking matter. But after I write down my ideas, then I'll listen to whatever somebody else has put out. Because if I already knew I wanted to talk about it, I'm gonna put all my ideas on paper.
Girl, I can't wait till you get petty like me and do podcasts with people you
Nah,
fall out with and then
till you
remove
do
them from the RSS feed. That's what I do.
See, and following
remove all their clips, remove their episode. I don't go.
Not till she said get petty like me. See how she trying to put that on me?
Sorry. But I think that's
fresh, clean face. I'm so excited.
I mean, you'll see. I think in this sex space, not another sex podcast, but if when you get into the space, you realize that a lot of people cling on to finding people that are like them, right? But there's still this element of a person being a person outside of what they like to do in the bedroom. And so when you get into this space, you see just a lot of not nice people, although you find the connect and feel like, oh, we're community. We have to bond together. Oh, you're into kinks too? You're open about talking about fetishes?
You feel like you got to be
You're
friends
a sex
with everybody.
worker? Yes, you get into this like community space.
I take my friendship so serious that I can't do that.
I learned that now. I liked finding people that were into the things that I was into, but then the way they view loyalty or friendship is different, and then that clashed. So I think that in this space that we're in, this sexually liberated, sexually educational space where we just like to find like-minded people because it's really hard for people that look like us to be that way, you do have to kind of reel in where people fit in your life.
Absolutely.
100%.
My last tidbit on this, I remember when Carla had the baby, I was like, oh my God, I like that picture from the Sexual Essentials page. I was like, see, this is exactly why I'm over here like, all I saw from my personal page is Sexual Essentials liked. I was like, see, this is the shit I'm talking about.
But it's okay. How do you think that baby got made? It's fine.
First of all, you know I know exactly how they got made.
But the baby got made with some love and some care, okay?
I don't know about y'all, but I am definitely at a point where staying home is one of my favorite places to be. It's where I'm the most comfortable. But also at this age, it's where I want to feel the most sensual. So how do I get both? Sexual Essentials thigh-high socks have been amazing. First of all, they actually are made for thick thighs as well. So they go all the way up to my lady parts. So I put them on with a pair of boy shorts or cute undies, crop top, or a large t-shirt. And I'm in the mirror taking selfies and I just can't get enough of it. I'm super obsessed. So they have 5 colors and we want you to get 15% off as our loyal listeners. So make sure that you use code NJASP, you know, the initials of the podcast, and you're going to get 15% off your entire order. The link can be found below, or you can check the link in our bio on any of our social medias so that you can get your pair of socks before your color sells out today. All right, now back to the show. All right, so we're going to move on. We're supposed to do a little icebreaker, but I feel like the ice is already broken, but I kind of want to ask these questions anyway.
Ask me whatever question you want. Yeah. Let's go. We can run down it real quick.
Are you more
Let's
nasty or kinky?
Ooh, nasty.
Okay. Do you like to rub your coochie like the acoustic way or the electric guitar way? So old school like fingers, or you like toys?
I just got into toys, but I do like fingers. Toy? I like anything that just sucks. Like the air suction technology.
Amazing.
Give me that shit.
Amazing.
That. I like all of that.
So I have a question.
Oh, them the 2 icebreakers? I thought you was going
down
on
questions. The third one, what's your favorite toy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anything that sucks.
Anything that. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
So I have to ask, what has this career cost you?
Ooh.
I also want to know what you've gained. But I know a lot of what you've gained. So
yes. I mean, the gain, I was able to leave my full-time career as an accountant, which did not like. I'm good at numbers. I'm good at organization. I love Excel. Excel makes me come. Oh my God.
Okay with that.
So I loved working off of 3 monitors and moving
you
things over.
organized
Oh
too.
no, I am super organized. So while I was good at it, it wasn't a passion of mine. I just eventually wanted to become a CPA, own my own firm, and just make lots of money. Money
Makes you come.
cash rules everything around
Okay.
me.
Some of those losses.
But when Whoreible Decisions really took off, it was just like, wow. I made my salary in like 5 months, quit my job, and now I'm doing it full time. However, now that we're 6 years in, I'm finding a few things hard, right? One, I've been in a relationship for the last 2.5 years. So oversharing my relationship stuff onto the podcast is a lot, only because when I'm out and about, I'm running into fans of the show. If I'm with him, they're coming to him like they know him.
Right.
He didn't sign up for that. So I get that. Secondly, it has cost me, I would say, my perception, my social perception. So to where I've gone on other pods and I've walked into rooms and I've been introduced as this, that hoe right there. And it's like, girl, I run a whole business and I do some things, but the way I'm introduced has been a little bit like I'm more than that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't think people believe that hoes can suck dick and read a book or can fucking
Make
jump
fucking
on a
money.
dick and run a
Yeah.
business. You know what I mean? So I feel like people have undervalued my value just to, I would say,
To just
society in general. And then I think on the third scale, it's cost me a bit of my dignity because, and let me get into that. So I've been in therapy for the last 2 years.
Love that for you.
Thank you. And so it's been where I'm also working on a book as well. It's been really hard listening back.
Oh, that's a good one.
Listening
That is
back
a good one.
because where I would be on my pod and I was loving having these trick ass niggas and fucking for this money and that money and ooh, this nigga bought this. In terms of where I've gone with therapy, I realized how little I valued myself, how little I asked of anyone in my life. And so where I am today, I wouldn't promote that. And so in this blurred line of sexual liberation, and I'm air quoting it, I had full autonomy of what I was doing, and I agreed to do those things.
Yeah.
So luckily, I don't feel that I was violated. However, I had
That could still not be right.
I had a skewed view of really what my value was as a woman. And even now, having been in a relationship, this is my first relationship in my life. I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
So the idea too that my value to myself was attached to my sex.
Mm-hmm.
My value was attached to being able to even disconnect emotionally to men. Now in my 30s, I'm like, well, I don't think I promote that because I've now experienced intimacy. And baby,
Shit slapping, ain't it?
holy
It's
fuck.
slapping.
Me and this nigga
Slapping.
traveled, didn't have sex at all because I was on my period. I don't do that shit.
What? I'm not running red lights.
I'm not running red lights.
All right, come on.
And then nope, not running the red lights. And then he was sick. So the idea that we both truly enjoyed an international trip together with no sex, I was like,
She said international. I thought
you
about
had
that period.
oh yeah,
and I
nah,
said, we would have
no,
ran them lights.
we had an international trip. Was there for almost a week. I told you he just came with me.
Oh, got it.
But also my mouth was out. My mouth was out of.
I couldn't use everything.
Bitch, and we was in
Okay.
Colombia, so the way I was drinking coffee, the asshole was out of commission too, because baby, that coffee was going right through me. Colombian coffee,
It's
shut
the
out.
honesty.
No, seriously.
No, for real.
So all 3 holes were not available. And so to me, so to me to experience not only a trip, but an extended amount of time with a man where sex wasn't involved and we both still enjoyed each other.
It's new.
That was new for me. I was like, mind you, so new, and I haven't even shared this on my pod, so new to where when he was at the airport, I wiped pink. And I literally told him, I understand if you don't even want to come anymore. I was so in my mind that there's no way
like,
he even wants to travel with me if I'm on my period.
Right.
Because I can't fuck him.
Social media has said that why you even going on a trip?
Why would you go on a trip without... So literally while he's at the airport, I said, baby, I just wiped pink. By the time you get here, period gonna be on. I know the days we're gonna be here. And I knew my mouth was
he
out
looking
of
at you crazy? Was he like, girl, what is you talking about?
He literally responded and was like, "Nah, baby, I'm finna come still, but okay." And even to hear that, like,
it helps you realize, like, damn, I'm the one that
like
is
he likes me more than what's between my legs. And I think as this sexually liberated person on a sexual liberation podcast, talking through the Me Too movement, talking through autonomy of yourself, talking through being a woman that can openly express that, hey, I want to be fucked too, and I don't want you to be my boyfriend or my husband. I just want to have sex. It's just been a mind fuck, really enjoying a man outside of sex, to where I'm fine with being a hypocrite. But, oh, baby, I live in my hypocrisy.
You know what?
But listening back has been really tough with me. Because I
have to own those moments and from the past.
Yeah.
I feel like when people talk about I think something that makes my skin crawl is when I'm interviewing with a man and they're always like, well, in this sexual liberation, you're going to regret that when you get older. And a part of me, you know, in those moments, because I don't like what's being said, is like, I'm offended that you say that. But the truth is that sometimes you do regret. But the thing is that I don't necessarily regret the sex act. There are a lot of sexual acts I've done in the past that I would not do again in that way, but I absolutely want to do them again with the level of intimacy involved. You know, so like I've had an orgy.
I'm trying to hear you out on this.
And I'm just saying, I don't think that I regret. I don't like when someone who doesn't care and someone who doesn't understand is telling you while you're doing something that this isn't sexual liberation. You're going to regret that shit when you older. Ain't no nigga going to want that, because you're not saying it out of like a helpfulness and not that they have to. People don't owe you shit, right? But if the things that I have done are a result of my trauma, you also can't put me on a timeline and just say, oh, don't do this because you're going to regret it when you're 30.
Well, I think
I have to go through those things.
I think that's my problem, right? I did a lot of stuff out of survival. Mm-hmm. And so there was a difference between being in survival mode and being sexually liberated.
Right.
You know, so that's one thing. The second thing would be that I feel like you can go into something not really wanting to do it, still do it, and still feel liberated by it. You made the decision, that's fine.
I've definitely tried some shit that I'm like, okay, I ain't doing that again, but all right, I did it.
So to me, though, that's not regretting. I still believe you gotta, don't knock it till you try it or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
3 times.
Or 2 or 3, you know, with some different motherfuckers too.
Yeah.
My name is Samia, and I'm the host of Not Just Another Sex Podcast, and I might look familiar to you because I'm also the owner of Sexual Essentials. One of the main things that I was known for was teaching people how to do the skills that they need to have a great sex life. That means I teach masterclasses in Dick Riding 101, masturbation and squirting, and the infamous Mouth Master Class. So what we're doing today for our listeners is giving you 50% off any class of your choice with the code NJASP. That's just the, initials of the name of the podcast if you can't remember. But use the link below or any of the links in our bio so you can take advantage of this offer. All right, now back to the show.
But I don't know. It's been really interesting going through therapy, and now, like you said, being in a place where there were moments I know I listened on the podcast and I was proud, and then now that I've gone through therapy and I've revisited those moments, the pride isn't really still there.
I think that makes you an asset. I think that makes you an asset to other women that have had trauma that are trying to get into therapy or feel so strongly about what they believe. Because when I first found you, it was, I am Mandii, and this is who I am, and I'm proud of it. And I feel like...
Can you express trauma then?
Trauma, anything... There are things that... there can
Not
be
sexual trauma.
Outside of sexual trauma.
Outside of
Just
sexual
even the way
trauma.
that people have treated you. Because getting to the airport, you know what I mean? We can acknowledge there's a level of growth there, right?
Yes.
And for whatever didn't heal properly, or somebody didn't treat you right in whatever way, that you believe that this is how it is now, right? And like you said, a level of jadedness. But there are some things that I can't experience without making some mistakes. And I think that it makes you an asset today, because the best person to talk, like that I can listen to. That's what I did back then, because there's a level of that was your choice, right? But then there's the level of, you know what I would do differently today and why. Now I can learn something from you versus, just like when they like, oh, don't have sex when you're young. That's not enough. Like you have
Girl,
to give.
not me out here asking for like fucking a phone bill. I would never fuck a nigga for $200 now. Wow. A phone bill? I'm just saying. Like, and now real quick, tidbit ladies, if you are asking niggas for money, ask Kai. Like, I look back, bitch.
$200 was a lot back in when you ain't had nothing back in the day.
$200 in 2015 is still not a long time ago. But like, ask high because yes, inflation is a thing. But like, I feel crazy that at one point my rent was $600. I was asking for $600. I now also see that flights aren't that much. I used to be so like, ooh, this guy really likes me. He booked me a flight.
But see what people,
girl, now I be booking a flight
now
to fucking Orlando for like, girl, see you tomorrow.
See, I always watch what people do when they have access to it because like I used to. So I'm very similar in that way. Like I've been in therapy for like 4 or 5 years. All kind of shit. Right. My trauma makes me money. It works. But my truth also makes me money. Right. But there's a level of things that automatically happen. Some of those exact same things that I thought I wanted then are happening now, but in a different way. So like before, it would be like, oh, I want a nigga to give me money. How I get a nigga to give me money? First of all, me getting my own motherfucking money attracts niggas that make money. Like, and I attract a lot of niggas that don't make no money too.
I was about to say yes or no.
Please fucking be careful.
Be careful.
Please
These
be careful.
men are homosexuals looking for a home to live in.
They are. But also it helped me realize and look at things as a whole picture. I realized I used to be treated so terribly just from home, like just at home, that any nigga that I met after my daddy, I thought was a great nigga. Like he would be a terrible nigga and I would still think, well, this is better than home. You know what I mean? And so instead of actually healing and starting from ground zero and saying, you know what do I want? I'm responding to, well, this is what I had before and comparing the two. Versus like really healing from situations and moving the fuck on and figure out what I want from here.
So I'll tell you where I found my state of delusion, so to speak. So in the power of sexual liberation, right? Mm-hmm. I felt like I'm fucking you because I want to fuck you. I'm giving you this because I want to give it to you. I'm doing this. And when I sat back and really looked, I'm seeing you when you allow me to see you. I'm getting your dick when you come and drop it off. Like, I realized that the power that I thought I had, I was still working on whether a flight got booked. I was still working on whether a man even brought himself over or brought me to his place. And I realized, wow.
The ball wasn't in your court at all.
I actually don't have the power that I thought I had at all.
And the thing is, I think that See the thing is.
That's really
fucking nifty. That's really fucking nifty.
Did there. It was a horrible decision.
Look at all that shit. We're about to run it all up. I feel like that's the thing. I think that acknowledging those things really brought me into my femininity. And so it was just like, you know what, you are a fucking lady. Like you may be, a tomboy of sorts, but you are a woman. You are a lady. And so me not trying to drive the boat, I am looking to see what you would like to do sitting back. But it's more so like when men would sometimes praise like, oh, she do this and she do that. And so now you're like, oh, I'm getting my accolades because I help out and we split bills. And now your dumb ass is being praised for some shit you didn't even fucking want. But also there's the extreme, like, nah, that nigga got to pay. I'm not neither one of those things. I really am a regular, hard working, regular. I felt a breeze.
Nope, they're not there.
I felt a titty breeze.
I would have told you if I saw a titty now. I know what those look like.
I feel like there's a level of I did not know or was comfortable with what I wanted without anybody involved. And so I feel like the best thing that I could do in dating was not date anybody at all. So like I went on like 2 hiatuses and like the beginning of the year, I didn't date anybody for like 6 or 7 months. And I'm talking about talking, like if you would pay me $1 million to bust this pussy up, I couldn't have helped you. Because like I literally was like, I don't want to date or talk to anybody until I figure out exactly what I want. I really want to start from ground zero. And so I realized some of the things that I wanted.
That you said that.
Some of the things that I wanted were in response to other people or whatever. And like even with the liberation thing, like I want to fuck. I would love to have some great sex, but I realize I have a whole bunch of requirements. And so the people that I find that are actually sexually liberated, and not saying that someone that does have a lot of sex does not, but it is very hard to find good grades of people. And you could say, well, I can find someone maybe to explore kink with or or, you know what I'm saying, certain things with. They may not have all the things of a partner, but they won't have anything that I'm overlooking just so I can have this now.
What's amazing,
what I
though,
mean?
is you're the opposite of me. You having a bit of a sabbatical between your partners to find out. I broke up with my nigga 10 times, and best believe I had a nigga right there every 10 times. Like,
Used to be.
Like,
It used to
whether
be me
it's
back in the
like,
day.
I had, like, okay, as soon as we not together, I figured out who his replacement or rebound was almost
Looking
immediately.
for somebody almost just like fill the space.
Looking. Girl, they all on the phone. Niggas don't ever go nowhere. They right there on Instagram, Snapchat, email.
But it don't be the niggas that you want.
Shit.
Like,
I mean, I don't want to be in a relationship with them, but that dick be good. So I go right back. I don't want to look for nobody new. I don't like.
That's a hard
to
one.
me, that's
That is a hard
emotional
one.
labor to me, where if I'm heartbroken, I still am a sexual being and still want to be fucked.
yeah.
I'm going to go back to what I know.
And see, I think I'm done with the what I used to know. I think I'm done with it. I was like, I need
So
a new
how old are
start.
you? What age do I get to that place? Because I'm trying to get there. Shit.
I am 30.
Okay.
A bitch turned
I
30
know
this
that's
year.
right. Oh, well, never mind then. Because
well,
I'm
yeah,
2
but
years older
also-
than you. I'm doing the bullshit.
You know what it is though? Like when it comes to, but also like intimacy is my thing. I'm like super sapiosexual.
I
and
just got there. So maybe that's what it is.
different. Yeah, I'm definitely sapiosexual. You have to dig into my mind, and we got to dig into the things. And I like exploring.
There's a
things,
running joke
but
now.
I have to get comfortable.
If you take my trash out, oh my God, I just came. Like, not you taking the trash out when you leave. Oh, baby, come back.
But you know what's crazy? I
Ugh.
get that from my friendships. There is not one man that's
Okay.
in my life that don't take out the trash when he come over my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things I had to.
Okay.
But also, I feel like getting a better standard of man came from having a great standard of men around me. I realized I did not have any good men around me. So, like, my best friend, they, like, those are the ones, like, we had this group called Rich Bitch Bible Study. And
Rich bitch Bible study.
Yes, get you some.
So the Lord lets us say, bitch, I know that's right. Shout out
Rich
to the
Bitch
Lord.
Bible Study. And it's my
Hallelujah.
It's my accountability group, and it's 4 men and 2 women in this group.
That is not the King
And,
James version, is it?
No, not at all.
Just checking.
It's 6 of us in this group. It's 4 men, 2 women, and the men always like if you touching the door, like they popping you. So it's like when I go around other men, I'm automatically turned off because the men that ain't even fucking me are treating me to a certain level. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick,
to a certain extent.
add that. Hey, producer, add that. That men who don't fuck you actually treat you better a lot of times than the men that do fuck you. Which is some sort of psychological thing that
But
maybe you gotta have
but you know
somebody
what's crazy
on.
is that
But
we
it
do
is.
it too because women usually talk crazy to the person that they love the most. That's who get all your wild ass mouth and shit like that. And so it's like we come at them and say shit to them, but yet everybody else knows you as this loving person. Or with your girlfriends though, you don't talk to them as crazy.
But that's the
And it's
that
like, why
man
do we
turns
do
you
it?
into your.
We treat the people that we
I'm
love
gonna have to
the
send
worst.
this episode to my friend.
We treat nah, man. You sending my
I hope
shit
you
to
listening
somebody,
to this
okay?
right now, friend, because we talking about you.
But that, you know what? I had to actually take a step back and say, you know, I used to think I wanted to be sit up under somebody all the time. Like I want a person I could be with all the time
So I
and
never
feel
thought that.
myself. I thought I did. I had a gap for love, bitch. A bitch was thirsty for fucking affection.
But most women aren't that way. I mean,
I don't know if they really that way though.
most women will leave their family, their friends, will call
everything.
off of work
Yeah.
to be around a man. So
and men don't do that shit. They
men-
stick into their
men
whole
do
schedule.
not
And
do that.
I love that.
I love that they do that as well.
I
like
had to start when I tell you me taking the 6 or 7 months off from dating at 30 was hard as fuck because I was like, I definitely have a fucking life.
was this there in 2020 pandemic?
No.
It was easy.
That was this year.
Bitch, what?
Dick was opening outside.
the
It was
world
available.
being
If you
open,
put
you
some coins in
chose
that bitch,
to
a
do
dick
that?
came out. Yes.
Y'all hear
And
this? Is this just for the pot or is this real? Wow. Now, why would you do that?
but you know what? It was so fucking crazy to me because I feel like this is like $1 million pussy. Like
What did you?
It's given a whole different. It's a different vibe.
Did you not feel like you were punishing yourself? So when I ask that, because I'm someone that when I'm like, ooh, let me just keep this pussy to myself, I be scratching the walls.
You know, I do.
I be
was.
driving myself crazy. Like
I was.
sex is still a thing for you, for me, for women.
Absolutely.
And so a sex sabbatical, how does that not feel like
Because
punishment for
I
someone
did-
who likes sex?
I could not keep feeding the thing that was the problem. And the problem wasn't the sex. The problem was the person that the sex was attached to. And at the end of the day, I still was not dating at my standard. So how much dick am I gonna take and never? Because also the type of nigga that I want, the nigga that I'm trying to attract, by just being myself. If he see me fucking with some of these type of niggas, he gonna be like, oh, she ain't ready for a nigga like me. And that's the type of shit that I need.
Girl, these niggas don't be thinking like that.
Look her. I just feel like, are you like, I don't want to be the best in the room of all the niggas. I want to be in a different room. And I'm not saying that niggas that's up at a better level,
well, they're competitive
don't have no problem.
As well all the time.
But I would rather have a different set of fucking problems. I done had all the broke problems. I done had all the pussy regret problems and all that other shit. You're going to have problems at every stage, but I'm tired of this problem. And for me, stepping into making a certain amount of money now and getting into having a name and you going out and people are like, can I take a picture? Like, that changes. That does change
especially when you're out with a man. Just be ready for it.
It changes things.
And men have
they
egos.
They also like the attention. I realize that some niggas want to fuck with you because they want to be in the spotlight. They want you to talk about you on the podcast. They want to do these things.
To me, those are clout chasers. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, absolutely.
The real type niggas don't want to be mentioned.
No.
The real clout chaser, like...
Well, I'm not gonna say all, but you know what I mean. Like,
but the real clout chasers, to me, have this affinity to feel close to something that's bigger than them.
Yes.
So like, and I say this all the time, I want a Stedman. A man that is just fine with being in the background. While I live in my glory, he supports me on the back end. I don't want a man that's looking to take pictures or that cares if I speak about him or not. And like I said, that's actually been a problem with the show, is how much I've shared. There's been hoes that done fell off like, bitch, I don't want you to talk about me on that pod. I had another nigga came back into the picture and he was like, you broke up with your nigga and need more content, huh? Like, niggas don't... Is that trifling?
Was it true? Was it true though?
I said, I won't talk about you, just bring that dick over.
See, I feel like...
But it became to where like, a lot of the real niggas ain't want nothing to do with story time.
Right.
Okay.
When I feel like me taking the sabbatical from sex and dating and all those things, though, gave me time to let the people that need to fall off. There is a transition. I don't even know if you remember this point, but there's probably a point before you became like, and I know you've been like, you've done sport, you've done all these things for so long. But for me, a person that was regular and decided to be myself, I decided to be regular back then, which means that the circle around me was regular. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those people, but I need intentional people. Like, you know how fucking busy you are picking up new friends. Like, even in this space, I have to watch out when I pick up these new friends because I still take friendship seriously. I don't have work friends and like we colleagues and we do this. But if you're going to be my friend, we have to be friends in full. So I had to watch how many people are here because they've been here in the past.
Well, that's my thing too. As you get older, and I don't know if we're wrapping this up, but as we get older, adult friendships seem more transactional than genuine. And so that's where meeting people in this space, meeting people as an adult, a lot of times people come into your life seeing what you can do for them. Absolutely. They're already in their mindset, like,
they know what they want.
What can I get out of this person in order to even maintain a friendship with them? And a lot of people, as soon as they feel like you're not bringing anything to them, be gone with the friendship. You're disposable. And so that's where, to me, it's really important. I maintain my friendships with people that were here prior, but when I'm around somebody, if they focus on what I can do for them more than what either they can bring to me or they just enjoy me as a person, I'm very cognizant of that.
See, I had to watch it with the people enjoy you as a person because your energy can be so infectious and people are like, I want to be around that. And like you said, be in proximity of something that's bigger than you. But even me, it was a lot of people were still in my space because they had done nothing wrong. And so for me,
So were you waiting for them to do something?
No, they were there. Like, so for example, I used to call him my favorite fuck buddy in the world. He was so respectful. Mind you,
that was his name.
My favorite
fuck buddy in the world.
He was my favorite fuck buddy in the world. Like, out of all the ones that I'd have had, but
he was your fave.
He was my fave. He was my fan fave because
what made him your fave?
He was just fucking respectful. And when I say fucking respectful, I know the bar was in fucking hell, right?
Can I ask you? Wait. What makes a respectful fuck buddy? Give me just 3 lists and then keep going.
He gives the gentleman qualities of somebody that made me so comfortable. It felt like I was with one of my homeboys. And I say gentleman, I'm talking about come pick me up. Hey, are you ready? Like text, like literally, you my girl. When we together, this is a type of energy, right? But also when you don't see people in their any flaws, you think that just this is good for them to be there. Well, a situation came up where I'm at homecoming, I have something at my house, and someone who tried to sexually assault me in college was invited to my home. Who do you think invited this person? So my thing is that
Did
some
that person
people,
know?
yes, they knew. So my thing is that we have to watch who we allow to be in our space simply because they've done nothing wrong. So for me, my issues was not just with men, but my boundaries as a whole. You know what I mean? And so when it got to a point with my boundaries and what I know I pour into people, if I fuck with you, period, if I'm talking to you, period, I care. I used to act like I was a bitch that didn't care, but I do. If I talk to you, I really do care. I don't waste my motherfucking time. Like, I'm just not doing it. So otherwise, I keep it light. I keep it brief. If we're getting into something, it's actually because I care. So I had to watch allowing these people in because they're getting things from me, even though I feel like I'm not. Oh, we just exchanging sex. No, being around me is way more than sex. Just being in my presence already is that. And me having the confidence to even say that. A lot of people are like, oh, she on this or she on this now. I don't really give a fuck because them motherfuckers ain't paying this mortgage, okay?
That part.
So it's like.
She said mortgage.
You heard
Not
that?
rent.
Yeah. They not paying it. And so not being able to stand on who you are and all that shit, it had to go out the window. So I had to sit down and not fuck with people for a while so I could like really fucking see straight.
Hey, you guys, it's your host, Samia. I hope that you guys are loving the show. Let's think about this name here. Not just another sex podcast means that some of it is absolutely sex. So if you're loving the content and you want to talk about this more, you need to join our Patreon community. There we have almost 300 hands-on classes, workshops, interviews, behind the scenes, and so much more. We even meet up once a week on Zoom to discuss the episodes. Did you relate to something? Did you have something to say? Or did you just need to talk about it a little more and meet other like-minded people? Patreon is definitely where you need to be. So don't hesitate. Look below, click the link, sign up, and I will see you at our weekly Zoom. All right, now back to the show.
So I do want to ask you,
Yes.
do you think that you reached a financial level where old niggas could not get access to the pussy no more?
So what happened is all my old hoes had babies over pandemic. And I said, nigga, I'm congratulating you on that. Good for you. You're a father. Stay out my fucking DMs. I'll be honest with you. I, as the brokest of broke bitches, was fucking lit niggas. Okay? And so now I look back and I was like, ooh, y'all was fucking the worst version of me. Like, now I'm kind of judging them. Because I'm like, that was the worst version of what I view of myself, right? Yeah. However, we just had this conversation on the pod with 19 Keys of all people. The way that we value ourselves and the way that we look at ourselves, especially in terms of feminine energy, is a lot different than how men value us.
Absolutely.
And I say this all the time.
I don't be caring about none of the shit we care
in
about.
looking back even in my therapeutic ventures, a lot of men loved being my knight in shining armor. They liked being the person to get me out of whatever was bothering me. So I had men that helped me pay for summer school classes because I wanted to finish college earlier. I had men who helped me with rent. I had men who just helped me to where they felt so good knowing that I would have probably asked another nigga, but they knew that they helped me do something I couldn't do for myself. And I think that that's been the hardest part now. I have a lot of men coming back. I knew you was going to be a star. I always knew you had something about you. Nigga, you lying because you ain't cuffed me. You ain't wife me. Whatever I showed to you in the past, you didn't believe in me. Because even though I told you I was going to college, even though we would have these long drawn conversations, you never really viewed me past sex. I was the fun girl.
Yeah.
I brought the friends with me. We did the threesomes. We had the fun, but to be fair, whether I'm still in your life or not, you never wanted to bring me to the next level. So it's odd. Ironically, a lot of men from my past are coming back and are like, I just knew. No, nigga, you didn't. But I look back and the treatment, and I know we talked about that as well. The treatment of where they
claim they thought about you.
There's no way I would be brought back to that. And one of the things I'll never forget from therapy was how many crumbs I accepted. Right? I accepted crumbs from men when I deserved the whole cake.
You know, and a lot of times we don't even recognize that it's a crumb.
Wait, and there's a middle part of that where maybe a man is only giving you a slice. and you so happy because you finally got a slice.
You ain't gonna never get no more.
And you never gonna get the whole cake,
It's
the whole
like
pie.
a balancing act.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking balancing act because at the end of and see, for me, that's why I had to be alone. I had to tell myself exactly what I wanted when nobody else was in the picture because I found that what I wanted started being skewed when other people were around. And so I didn't
I'll
realize.
be honest with you. My friends, baby,
They keep you together?
no, fuck them. They're not a part of my relationship. I have my friendship, and I've learned to deal with my ups and downs, like, and I do this with my friends as well. Hold on, bitch, hold on. Because here's the thing. Wait, and I'll say this, and this is off camera. Well, someone is off camera, but I'm gonna say this. Before your relationship ended, maybe 4 or 5 months before, I personally did not like what was happening in her relationship. But as women, we will stay until we want to leave. And so I told her to her face, I said, friend, I love you. Don't invite me out around him and don't invite me to the house if he's there. I literally said, I love you. I don't want to. You were with us that night. Was she not? There was another friend. I thought she was with us. All I know is
bitch.
I saw something in one night being out where I was like, friend, this is your partner and I want you to be happy. I want all my friends to be happy. I don't have to lay with a man. I don't have to split bills with a man. I don't have to procreate with a man that my friend chooses. And so a big part of now me in my 30s with all my friends. Shout out, Bridget just got engaged. Like my other friend is with a nigga that she been on and off with for goddamn a year now. And I said, girl, I'm kind of over that now too. I'm to the point now where as a friend, I want to be here for you as a friend. But I don't want to involve myself in giving you advice or inserting myself into your relationship. Because as a woman, we will be with who we want to be with until the fucking wheels fall off. And there's nothing that a friend, a family member, anybody could say to get us out.
What is your sign?
Don't do this. Didn't I say we're not for the stars and moons this
You was about to tell me. You might as well go ahead.
Libra.
Okay.
And I love my friends, but I'll talk to her for fucking hours every fucking morning about the blogs, about business, about work, about everything but our relationships. And I value my friendships so much more than whatever relationships our friends are in. 100%. You become so involved. I think they're going to have
to use it on me, but yeah.
You become so involved sometimes in your friend's relationship that it starts to alter even your perception of that person. And there's so much that as women we don't share about our relationship, whether we want to share the bad. Sometimes we only want to share the good. And sometimes we lie because we want the perception to everyone to be way better than what the reality is. And so I've oftentimes come to my friends and been like, I love you, but I'm not going to be the friend that you talk about your relationship to. Please don't involve me. I don't want to surround. We don't have to do double dates. I won't invite him over anymore. That person does not. No, literally. Because I care so much about my friends, I never want to feel any type of animosity to my friends based on who they choose as a partner.
That's great. I think that's important. I think I'm gonna have to take that one. One, because even with my friends, a lot of my friends have been my support system through everything. So we've always.
But also, they don't deserve that.
Absolutely,
bitch, keep that shit to yourself sometimes. Because girl, every time we talk, I don't want to hear you crying about the same nigga you finna go back to.
Yeah.
Is that a gag? Did I gag you? No.
A little gargle, if you will.
And it becomes draining because then I start. Bitch, you're stronger than that. You're my friend. I know you in a way that maybe this nigga doesn't. But then it starts literally altering how I view you. And I nenever want that. So if this is your person and this person makes you happy, where I may not like him, where I may think he ugly because I'm shallow, because, bitch, I think a lot of niggas is ugly.
Get off my phone. I'm going under the bridge.
I might be like, girl, that nigga ugly. How you let him talk to you like that with his ugly ass?
Get off my phone. We're going under the bridge.
No, I don't want to be that friend to bring any more. Like, you figure out that relationship, but as a friend, I always want to be there in every other capacity. But I'll never sit here and steer my friends towards the decision they make for their partner. I don't want to be that person.
I think that was the way I had to realize, even with the sabbatical, friends fell off. You know, like I had a best friend that had been friends for years. We didn't have any issue. It just we were no longer that level of friends anymore. And I mean, we can say that it was for X, Y, Z or whatever, but I didn't really I didn't feel like anything terrible happened and then it's in the friendship. But sometimes you got to assess all these people that you done said you're going to be friends with and say, can you show up for all these people? Are you really connecting with these people and talking about anything other than just dick and relationships? And like, I know you have some friends that specifically y'all, like that's your whole friend and shit like that, but
no, I don't have that anymore.
I think that
I've been in a relationship.
Oh, well, look at you. You know they got a gold star for you in the back, bitch.
I don't have hoe friends anymore.
Yes,
I'd be like,
all right. So, last question before I let you go and they kick me out. Using your personal or past trauma to profit, do you think that that's something that you've done? In what way?
Like I said, I championed and promoted sex work in a way that wasn't healthy. So I believe sex work is a choice for a lot of people. And that's the thing. Sex work often, a lot of people feel like is based off trauma, daddy issues. Anytime, and we've had a lot of porn stars. I have a lot of friends that are escorts. I have a lot of people that choose sex work, right? I feel like what I do is sex work. I profit off of sex in a podcast way, but the conversations that I bring to light, the performances that happen at our live show, it's 100% sex work, right? And so I'm profiting still off of my 26-year-old self that now through years of therapy and years of looking back, I would shift what those were. And I'm now viewing things as trauma that I probably didn't view as trauma at 26. And I'm probably not making a lot of money. It's good.
I like that you're still doing the show because it gives, and doing so many different types of shows. Like even See the Thing Is such a different avenue.
Different.
And such a different avenue.
I love it because I love current events. I love music.
Yes,
music is an escape for me.
Oh my gosh.
Love
I thought
music.
We were going to talk about the Twitter talk for the whole damn talk. I was like,
bitch, I ain't gonna hold you. I live on Twitter rent free, even though Elon trying to motherfucking tax me for rent now. I absolutely love pop culture.
It's a different version of you. It is nice to see.
And I'm able to talk politics. I'm able to, again, show that a hoe can speak about more than just sex. Okay?
I like that you're still doing Whoreible Decisions as well, like the show. Because, every show doesn't last necessarily forever.
Girl,
whatever.
we're going on year 7.
And that's what I'm saying. The fact that you're still doing it because now
people said we wouldn't get past 100. So there ain't no way.
But
there's only so much you can say about sex.
You didn't delete the episodes.
Oh, them niggas that I don't like that was on the pod, I deleted them.
But there's
like 4 episodes deleted.
I'm talking about, look at her. She can't help it.
Sure did.
When it comes
what it is.
When it comes to deleting my past things, I like that I did not delete. I have almost 300 episodes on Patreon. I like that I did not delete any of them, and now people are getting a different version of Samia on this podcast now. So it's like you get to hear from me as a person who's experienced those things, who's healed from those things. You know what I mean? And get the full answer.
We're not monolithic.
I don't want people taking the prop. I hate when people make everything so fucking pretty.
And that's why
don't take all the trauma shit out. People need to hear some of that and leave some of the stuff down too.
Girl, I used to parade around, ooh, I love condom dick. Bitch, I done had 2 years with no condom dick. I'm not that bitch anymore. Still use a condom, but baby, so if you go back and listen to the things that I was like,
I like that we're allowed to change our minds. I think that people need to hear that.
But that's the problem. And we can't on that. They don't allow women to change their minds as sexually liberated beings. Yeah. It's that all the time. And so unfortunately, in this journey through our sexual prowess, through our emotional evolution, unfortunately, because we
emotional evolution. All right,
hello, girl, I'm learning big words, bitch. we're in a space where unfortunately people don't allow us to change our mind, but also grow from who we were. And in a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful reality, the people who have known me since my early 20s are seeing that evolution and praising me for it. And it's been,
I just got chills.
BET Award. I'm being praised for people knowing me,
who knew you before and who know you now,
and who know me now. And these are men. And so to have, and look, I ain't finna cry here because bitch, I got you, but I've been drinking all day.
Go ahead, hit me with it.
But I think that has been one of the biggest things I think this year. So this year has brought me to a space where the men that have known me in really dark times of my life where I was doing some strange things for some change, seeing me where I am now and getting the praise and even walking into rooms and being viewed differently has meant so much to me. And it has been like life-changing for sure.
I love that.
For sure.
I feel that all of my friends are, look here, my homegirl Darius here, she was helping me carry dildos up the subway when I first time I came to Brooklyn, bitch. When I tell you, we have not been to New York in the heat, not once. And she's been helping me carry dildos in the subway.
You was carrying dildos in the humidity?
No.
Oh, okay.
We have not been here when it's been hot yet. So she's been with me since the vision. She was with me when I was married at a point. I know, right? It's a big ass story. And she's here now. And so like that's super amazing to me that she gets to see me grow up and always just see that heart.
This bitch served me my bottles in the club. We were struggling as accountants together. Like to me, that's the wonderful space where we're at, not only on a sexual journey, a personal journey, but professionally, to have those people who have seen you
everything.
Every step of the way. Like our friends are so important to our journeys and how we view ourselves as human beings. And so where I know we put a lot of emphasis on the men and how they view us, having our friends see that growth.
How my girls view me is totally different, because your friend can make you cry on some I'm disappointed in you. Like, bitch, what?
And it matters because they've seen.
It does.
They've seen.
It does. These are the ones that keep me together. So I appreciate. Shout out to my girl Dara. But we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna lead in with a look here, y'all. That whole session was your advice segment. There you go. You're welcome.
There you go.
You're welcome. The spiritual tip of the day, and this one was purposely to piss Mandii off because I do what I can, is make sure that you masturbate and manifest.
Oh God.
This is, y'all heard that terrible noise in the background? She still has growing to do, so please be patient with her. One of the things that I have done, and this had to be on your episode, was masturbate to the things that I wanted to get comfortable with. And masturbating was always something that I was having an orgasm is something I've always been able to get comfortable with. But my goals and being
just
great.
Light a candle.
Don't be trying to cut off when I'm trying to be emotional and shit.
Go ahead. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I thought you said we was having emotional ovulation or something. Whatever we was having. I'm so grateful that I'm comfortable now. Instead of having to just masturbate to my goals, I can write them down. I can sit down and hear. I can come do them with you. And, I'm so grateful for that, for like the patience and all of that. And just literally, I remember myself masturbating to, I'm going to do this in this room with these people. And I always thought, these people were great. And it's like, now I see myself doing that. I don't have to just rub my coochie and be great. I could just walk out here on the set and bitch, let's go. We just great. So I do want to, tell people, make sure you log on to the Patreon, click the links in my bio or below, and make sure you check out the masturbation manifestation class. It definitely changed my life. I started this business in 28 days, and 5 years later, here we are on set, and I just had an amazing interview with the Mandii fucking B.
Oh my God, I love Mandii fucking B. I like that.
I'm very proud of you. I'm so happy for you. So I just want to give you your flowers while you are here. And please let the folks know where they can find you.
Yes. So every Monday, you can check me out on Whoreible Decisions. Type in horror, we pop up. That's right, WHORE. We're everywhere on YouTube and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Every Tuesday and every Friday, you can catch me on See the Thing Is podcast. And then if you love this beautiful set, we are at my studio, Full Court Studios here in Brooklyn, New York. So go to fullcourtstudio.com. And Samia, thank you so very much for having me. I have more coming, but just thank you for sharing the space.
A book is coming.
I
said book and I got chills.
Hold on, and animated series, but we'll talk about that off air. Thank you so much for having me.
Eating coochie on anime. Okay, we gotta go.
Girl.
All right, we done ran out of time. Till next time, make sure y'all check out my episode with Whoreible Decisions.
Yes.
And all right, y'all. Bye.